didn't choose Christ because it was easy. I chose him, knowing I could lose everything. My family, my identity, even my safety. So the question is, why would someone risk everything for something they were never meant to find? There are some battles you don't fight outside. No one sees them. No one hears them. But they are real. That was my life. From the outside, everything looked normal, structured, disciplined, controlled. But inside, there was a silence that felt louder than noise. I was raised in a home where faith was not just belief. It shaped how we spoke, how we dressed, how we lived. He was not just a father. He was an imam. A man people respected. So in our home, there was no confusion about what was right. Everything was already defined, and I followed it. Not because I had answers, but because I trusted the system I was born into. But there is something no one talks about. You can follow everything and still feel empty. I didn't understand it at first. I was doing everything right. But something inside me didn't feel right. It wasn't rebellion. It wasn't disobedience. It was awareness. A quiet realization that was following, but not understanding. The first question didn't come loudly. It came like a whisper. What if there is more? And that question scared me, because where I came from, questions were dangerous. Not physically at first, but emotionally, spiritually. Because once you start questioning, you can't go back to ignorance. So I did what many people do. I hid it. Outside, I was still the same person, praying, obeying, following. But inside, I was searching, quietly, carefully, alone. And that kind of loneliness is something you cannot explain unless you've lived it. I didn't wake up one day and decide to change everything. No. It started slowly. Moments of thinking, moments of doubt moments of doubt, moments of silence. And in those moments, I wasn't trying to leave anything. I was trying to understand truth. But here is the hardest part. When you start searching for truth, you also start seeing what it might cost you. And I saw it clearly. If I continued, I could lose. I could lose my family, my identity, my place in the community, everything. And that fear almost stopped me. There comes a moment in life where you can no longer pretend, where silence becomes heavier than truth. And I reached that moment. I realized I was more afraid of living a lie than facing the consequences of truth. I didn't fully understand everything yet, but I knew one thing. I could not go back to being the same person. Something had changed inside me. Something real, something deep. And even though I didn't have all the answers, I was already walking in a new direction. This was not the end of my journey. In fact, this was only the beginning. Because what came next was not just a decision. It was a confrontation with my family, with my past, with everything I had ever known. There's something I haven't told you yet. Something I'm not proud of. Something that still stays with me. Because before I ever considered Christ, I stood against him. Not silently, but where I came from, where Christians are not just different. They were seen as misled. Confused. People who had lost the truth. And I believed that deeply, not because I hated them, but because I was convinced I was right. I had friends, Christians. We laughed together. We studied together. But there was always a line, an invisible line, that I never allowed myself to cross. Because to me, they were people I cared about, but people who were wrong. Then something unexpected started happening. They began to speak, not loudly, not forcefully, but what they said changed everything. But quietly, carefully, they started telling me about Jesus. Not religion, not arguments, but a person. And I didn't like it. Not because I didn't understand, but because something about it made me uncomfortable. So I did what I thought was right. I rejected it. Firmly, coldly, sometimes even arrogantly. I looked down on them. In my mind, I was protecting truth. But it didn't stop there. Because one day, I made a decision that would change everything. I reported them to my father, the imam. I told him that they were trying to influence me, that they were speaking about Jesus, that they were crossing the line. And in that moment, I felt justified. I thought I had done something honorable, something loyal, something right. But I didn't think about them. I didn't think about what it would cost them, the fear they might feel, the consequences they might face. All I saw was my duty. And yet, something strange happened after that. Instead of feeling stronger, I felt uneasy because their words didn't leave me. They didn't argue with me. They didn't fight me. They didn't insult my beliefs. They simply spoke about Jesus, about love, about forgiveness, about a relationship, not a system. And I couldn't understand why. That stayed with me. That's when the real battle started. Not outside, inside. Because now, I wasn't just defending what I believed. I was questioning why I felt threatened by what they said. And slowly, something I didn't expect began to grow. Guilt. Not because I broke a rule, but because I started to wonder if I had silenced something I needed to hear. And one night, a thought came to me, clearer than anything before. What if they were not my enemies? What if I didn't reject them because they were wrong? What if I rejected them because I was afraid they might be right? That question shook me because it exposed something deep inside me. Not confidence, but fear. And once you see that, you cannot unsee it. I thought reporting them would end everything. But instead, it started something I couldn't control. Because now, I wasn't just hearing their voices. I was hearing the questions they left behind. And those questions would lead me somewhere I never thought I would go. There are moments in life that don't just change your direction. They change your heart. This was that moment for me. Because what happened next, I could not explain. And I could not escape it. After I reported them, everything changed. Those people, the same ones who spoke to me gently about Jesus, they were beaten. They were beaten, locked up, humiliated, punished for something as simple as speaking about their faith. And I knew, deep down, I was the reason. But what shocked me the most was not what happened to them. It was how they responded. Because instead of fear, instead of anger, instead of regret, they were singing. Every day, from inside that place, they sang songs of praise, songs of joy, songs about Jesus. And I couldn't understand it. How can someone suffer and still have peace? That's when everything inside me started to break. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think clearly. My mind was not at peace. And then something began to happen. Something I cannot deny. I started hearing it. Not loud, but clear. Again and again. Go and set my people free. At first, I ignored it. I told myself it was nothing, but it didn't stop. Night after night, go and set my people free. I became restless. I was losing peace, losing control, because now the same people I tried to silence, were the ones living in freedom. And I was the one in bondage. After 1 week, I couldn't take it anymore. So I did something I never thought I would do. I called one of them. Her name was Esther. My voice was shaking. I didn't know what to say. But I said it anyway. I'm sorry. And what she said next broke me. She smiled and said, "I'm not angry with you." No hatred, no bitterness. After everything, she forgave me. And in that moment, I asked the question that would change my life forever. Who is Jesus? And Esther began to speak. Not like someone trying to win an argument, but like someone who knew him. She told me, Jesus is love. Jesus forgives. Jesus sees your heart. Jesus doesn't force you, he calls you. And as she spoke, something inside me started to break. After she preached Jesus to me, I began to cry. Not because she hurt me, not because she forced me, but because truth touched me. I realized something in that moment. The people I thought were weak were actually strong. The people I tried to silence were actually free. And the truth I rejected was the truth I needed. That conversation didn't just inform me, it changed me. Because now, Jesus was no longer a concept. He became real. To anyone watching this, especially you, who left Islam, and now you're thinking of going back, because of fear, because of pressure, and because it feels easier, listen to me. Don't go back to what you escaped, just because the journey forward is hard. Freedom is not always comfortable, but it is real. And to those who have chosen Jesus, but you feel weak, you feel alone, you feel like giving up, don't. Because what you have found is worth everything. And to my Muslim brothers and sisters, I say this with respect, with love, not with hate. Come and see for yourself. Not religion, but Jesus. Not arguments, but truth. Ask questions, seek sincerely, and let truth reveal itself to you. If this story touched you, subscribe, because this is only the beginning. Like, so more people can hear the truth. Comment, I want to hear your thoughts. Share, someone out there needs this. I once stood against Jesus. I once rejected Jesus. I once tried to silence those who followed Jesus. But today, I stand here because he never gave up on me. Have you ever rejected something only to later realize it was the truth? Because he never gave up on me. So let me ask you this one question. Have you ever rejected something only to later realize it was the truth?